美方的官员呢是在竭力的狡辩。
The U.S. officials have been trying to explain it away and even putting the blame on us. So I think it reflects the absence of credibility, the lack of knowledge of history, and the lack of reflection on the part of the U.S. government. In China, we have an ancient saying that is, a man will be facing his problems and the troubles because of the lack of reading about history. So I think it's time that the U.S. officials catch up with the history lessons on the Taiwan question. There is only one China in the world and Taiwan is part of China. The government of the People's Republic of China is the sole legal government representing the entire China. This is at the heart of the One China principle and also a shared understanding and a basic norm in international relations. In 1971, when the U.S. affirmed to China the new principles that it would follow with regard to the Taiwan question, and they include the U.S. would acknowledge that there is only one China in the world and Taiwan is a part of China. And in that communique, the U.S. made it very clear that the U.S. acknowledges that all Chinese on either side of the Taiwan Strait maintain there is but one China and that Taiwan is a part of China. The U.S. government does not challenge that position. And this is what kick-started the normalization process of Sino-U.S. ties. And in the joint communique in 1978 on establishment of diplomatic ties, the U.S. said, and I quote, the U.S. recognizes the government of the PRC as the sole legal government of China and acknowledges the Chinese position that there is but one China and Taiwan is part of China, end of quote. And in the August 17th joint communique of 1982, the U.S. said, and I quote, the U.S. recognizes the government of the PRC as the sole legal government of China and acknowledges the Chinese position that there is but one China and Taiwan is part of China. And also it reiterates that the U.S. government has no intention of infringing on Chinese sovereignty and territorial integrity or interfering in China's internal affairs or pursuing a policy of two Chinas or one China, one Taiwan. The historical ins and outs are very clear on the Taiwan question, and the international community is also very clear about the fact and the status quo that the two sides of Taiwan Strait belong to one and same China. The Chinese government and Chinese people still hold our position very firmly on Taiwan, and we will continue to uphold our sovereignty and and territorial integrity. National reunification is the firm aspiration and sacred duty of all Chinese people. Public opinion will not be defied, and no country, force, or individual shall misestimate our firm and resolve and capability in achieving all of that.